What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Fantasy Puck video. I'm your host, Mike, and today's video is going to be on the Week 16 preview and my favorite streaming targets for this coming week. As we get closer to playoffs, you're going to want to be maximizing your scheduled starts, especially on those off nights, to hopefully put yourself in the best position possible as playoffs is just around the corner. Before we get into this video, guys, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and if you're not in our Discord already, what are you doing? We have over 800 active fantasy hockey players asking us questions directly, chatting amongst the community. It's been an awesome year this year for the Discord, so make sure you hop in there. The link will be in the description below. If you have any trouble getting in there, just let me know in the comment section below, and I will find a way to get you in. Without further ado, let's jump into the Week 16 preview and streaming targets video. Starting this video off, we want to look at the best schedules for this coming week. The off nights, as per usual, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Teams that you're going to want to be targeting to stream their players on are going to be on those off nights. So January 23rd, 25th, 27th, and 29th. Couple teams with 4-game schedules this week, not really a lot. Boston, Buffalo, the Islanders, Columbus, Toronto, who we're going to be targeting quite a bit, and Florida. So a lot of these teams have 4 games. Now we want to pick the teams that have the best possible schedule. So we're going to be looking at the 4 games and 2 off nights with the Islanders and Florida, and then the juiciest schedules with Columbus and Toronto. Toronto this week has 4 games, all 4 on off nights. So you're going to be able to maximize your starts with your Toronto players and some of these streaming targets that we're going to get into a little bit further into this video. Jumping over now to the worst schedules this week. There's 2 teams with 2 games this week, Nashville and Edmonton. Not much panic there. The one thing we're going to want to watch this week, especially with Edmonton, is to see when Stuart Skinner starts. I know I've had some concern in the Discord saying, is Jack Campbell the starter again? Stuart Skinner had a baby, or his wife had a baby, had to go home. Missed a couple games, and now it looks like Campbell's getting some starts, so we don't know really what's happening there, but that's something to keep an eye on for this coming week. A bunch of teams with 3 busy nights. Don't need to go through all of them, but these are the worst schedules for this coming week. All right, now jumping into my favorite forward stream options for this coming week, looking at the off nights. Like I said, I want to be targeting this Toronto team this coming week. For those in the shallower leagues looking for a more higher owned acquisition here, Michael Bunting, left wing, first line, PP2, playing with Nylander and Matthews on that awesome Toronto top line. Again, very good schedule this week. They're at home in every game. They play the Islanders, Rangers, Ottawa, and Washington. So a couple tough matchups there defensively, especially against the Islanders, Rangers, and Washington, but a good matchup against Ottawa. Toronto is exceptional at home right now, so you're going to want to be adding Bunting in those shallower leagues if he is available. J.G. Pajot, John Gabriel Pajot of the New York Islanders is the next streaming option, 25% owned, likely available in those 12-team leagues. Very good shot and hit volume. If you're in face-off win leagues, it's also a very good acquisition. Pajot does play on the third line, but no cause for concern because he is on the top power play unit. Another decent schedule this week, Toronto, Ottawa, Detroit, and Vegas. Toronto and Vegas, the harder matchups, with Ottawa and Detroit as the easier matchups. Definitely like Pajot this week, especially if you're looking to stream some hits. Moving on, Anton Lundell of the Florida Panthers, someone I was actually pretty high on this year, hasn't really panned out as much as I wanted him to. He is playing left wing on that top line, so hopefully he gets left wing eligibility this week. Center, 21% owned over on Yahoo. They have a good schedule this week. Rangers, Pittsburgh, LA, and Boston. Actually not very good as I'm looking at it. That's actually a pretty tough schedule, but 4 games, 2 games on the off nights. You're getting a guy on a top line on a Florida team that has been scoring a ton of goals. They're finally coming back to life. Hopefully you traded for some of those players like Sam Bennett, Sam Reinhart. They're finally, taking that stride we saw offensively. Bobrovsky's hurt this week, so that'll be interesting to see. We could see some starts from Alex Lyon this week as well. But I like Anton Lundell here. Good minutes, good opportunity on that top line. Lastly, Calle Jarnkrok of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Again, just very good schedule to be targeting this week. Play on that second line with Tavares and Marner. He is getting some power play 2 minutes. 7% owned. He has triple eligibility, center, left wing, and right wing. Now, I'm going to jump over to the lower owned, deeper league players to stream this week. Continuing from the last segment, guys under 5%, Alex Kerfoot of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Really weird to see. It seems like he's on the 4th line. I think Toronto just rolls their lines a little bit more than we've seen in the past. It's kind of like the 3rd line, but Kerfoot, he actually gets some reps on the top line as well. Like when Keefe decides to shift the lines around, you'll see him on the left wing. You'll see him on second line, taking over Jarnkrok's spot. Kind of all over the place, but triple eligibility, 5% owned. Toronto, good schedule this week. I like Kerfoot. I like his upside. Now we have the 3, and I didn't forget about the Columbus Blue Jackets players. There just wasn't a lot Also, I have Gaudreau and Line to stream this week at any higher ownership. Just the team is not very good this season, so not a lot of good options. But Jack Roslovic here, 5% owned. They play Calgary, Edmonton, Vancouver, and Seattle. So not a bad schedule. All the games are on the road, so there is some concern with that. But still, you're trying to maximize your starts. You're trying to just get those floor points. Jack Roslovic, decent shot volume. He's playing line 2, PP2. That's what I like to see from players that I'm streaming in the coming weeks. Gustav Nyquist also playing on a line with Roslovic on the second line. Left wing, right wing eligible. 3% owned. Power play 2 minutes as well. Their schedule is not bad this week. And lastly, very low owned, someone you can likely get in those deeper leagues, Kirill Marchenko. It looks like he's playing first line minutes, power play 1. I don't really know. I don't really watch the Columbus games, but I went and looked at Daily Faceoff to see what their lines were like. Seemed like he's first line, power play 1. Took a look at natural stat trick. He was getting some power play time in their most recent games. So I like to see that from a really low owned player. This is more of a lottery ticket play. You're just hoping for the odd power play goal, odd power play assist, but still decent minutes, decent upside. I like the schedule this week. These are my favorite forward streaming options. Moving on now to defenseman streamers. There honestly wasn't a lot, especially with the teams with the good schedules this week. Defense are really hard to crack the code with, but starting off the Florida Panthers, the most annoying player in the league, I would say, Radko Gudas, 44% owned. If you're looking to stream a bunch of hits this week, they have a good schedule. If you're in bangers leagues, he's likely owned, but still in those 12-team leagues, especially those pointless leagues, he may actually be available on your free agency. So I'd be looking at Radko Gudas to get you those floor hits and some decent shot volume, I would say, with Radko Gudas. This Panthers team just shoots a ton, but I don't mind Gudas this week, 44% owned. Probably in those shallower leagues, he will be available. Mark Giordano of the Toronto Maple Leafs, pair 2, power play 2. Not bad shot volume, not bad hit volume, not bad block volume, so you're just going to get some solid points upside there. Power play 2 minutes. Toronto does like to roll their top power play quite a bit, but still 17% owned, 4 games on the off nights. I'm looking to stream him for sure this week. Adam Boqvist, so, like everyone in the Discord was so excited about Boqvist coming back. Didn't really know what the hype was. Former 6th overall pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But he is playing power play 1 here on this Columbus Blue Jackets team, who just has not been very good this year. But still, getting some power play upside. He's more like a Sandin where you just don't get a lot of peripherals, but there is upside with those power play minutes he's getting and top pair minutes. Lastly, Scott Mayfield, again, similar to a Giordano type, but may be available in those deeper leagues. With Ryan Pulock out right now, it looks like Mayfield's getting the bulk of the minutes. A couple games over 27 minutes, plays the penalty kill, lots of blocks, lots of hits. I love Mayfield, especially in those block leagues. Good schedule this week for them, just 4% owned. These are my favorite defenseman streamers for this coming week. Now, ending this video off, we have the goalie streamers. Not a lot of back-to-backs this week. It's similar to defenseman. I was going through, I'm like, I can't find a whole lot, but there is some decent options. Dan Vladar, I'm sorry for all my Markstrom owners. It's just been such a frustrating year this year. For everyone that has drafted Markstrom, for me, I actually didn't take him in any of my leagues, but I know Chris was really high on him. He took him in a couple of leagues, especially the one that I'm in with him. He owns him, and it's just been a struggle with goaltending, but still, Dan Vladar seems like a very, very good 1B or a backup goaltender. They have a game on a back-to-back Thursday, January 26th versus Chicago at home. I'm assuming Markstrom will get the harder matchup against Seattle in this game, so assuming Vladar will get the start against Chicago, something to monitor. If you're in the Discord, we'll definitely be shouting that out. Mackenzie Blackwood, someone I think is going to be a big sleeper next season, just 11% owned. They have a back-to-back game. The first game is against Nashville. On the road, I like the matchup. Nashville is not the strongest offensive team. They win games from defense, and Saros just making 67 saves. But still, Blackwood, very good team, very good matchup against this Nashville Predators team. Anton Forsberg, I can't believe this guy's 35% owned. Why is he 35% owned? Someone needs to let me know why he's so high owned relative to the other goalies on this list. Maybe not Grubauer, who is just former Vezina winner. Close. 35% owned. Saturday game against this Montreal Canadiens team. It was just announced that Slafkovsky's out 3 months and Caulfield's out 3 months, so most likely rest of the season. They lost one big weapon, I would say, in Caulfield, and Slafkovsky definitely has some upside there. Saturday matchup at home against Montreal. Love the matchup here for Forsberg. Lastly, Philip Grubauer, bust, 11% owned. They play Saturday against the lonely Columbus Blue Jackets. All the players are just shouted out. Definitely wouldn't be adding the Seattle goalie against the players if you're streaming the players. But still a decent matchup here for Grubauer at home against this Columbus Blue Jackets team. that'll do it for the week 16 preview and stream targets video. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.